I'm Marie.
I'm Moore.
And this is the Need to Know. So today we have a wonderful topic for you guys. So our poll was falling in love versus bad decisions. Of course, the wonderful poll, it won with bad decisions. We're gonna talk about a couple of bad decisions and of course get spicy with you guys as always. So what's bad decisions?
Bad decisions is basically like you have two choices in any situation that you're in, and usually you pick one that you feel would be the best for you, but then it turns into something that you either didn't expect or you did expect, but it ruins something. Like it ruins a night, like it ruins your life for a certain amount of time. Like, but it's just something that is wrong and it messes up something in the future, pretty much.
Can bad decisions have good outcomes?
They could. For example, let's say you made the decision to cheat.
Yo, I was thinking the same thing though.
like even if you cheat, it's like, yeah, it's a bad decision and it might mess up a relationship that you're in, but at the end of the day, you learn from it. Like you learn, instead of going to cheat next time, like you actually sit down with your partner and it's like, yo, I have a problem. This is what's going on. So you actually mature sometimes, not all the time, because some people, they still be wilding. You mature out of cheating in a sense.
How do you know it's a bad decision?
You're not gonna initially know that's a bad decision. Like, obviously you're making the decision yourself because it's what's best for you. But I think the moment you find out is when you notice something goes wrong. Like, say for example, nobody chooses to cheat, like it just happens. It's not until like after cheating, it's like when you're done, like you pull up your pants and you like, oh shit, like what did I just do? Same thing with any decision you make, like the initial thought about it, like you're gonna think it's a good decision. It's not until something gets affected or you think that something's gonna get affected that's like, damn, that was the wrong decision. So
I think you do know, if it's a bad decision. If you have to like second guess yourself and like you want to do this decision, like this choice, but it's just like you want to do that one too, but it's like you leaning away from that decision, that choice because of like you're thinking about all these other outcomes, then I feel like that that's a bad decision, But sometimes, you go with it because sometimes it just makes more sense to go with that bad choice. For example, you have a test, right? And you want to cheat on the test because you wasn't studying or you wasn't paying attention. But if you actually do study, like you have a 50-50 chance that you're gonna pass or fail. But then again, if you just cheat, you're gonna pass.
right.
So it's like, and then it's like, if you get caught, this, down, the third. So it's just like, you have all these things in the back of your head, but at the end of the day, you're still gonna go towards to cheat. In your head at the moment, that's the logical thing to do because you need to pass. Because maybe you wasn't doing your work, you wasn't this, you wasn't that. So, I feel like with that scenario, it would be like, oh, you would know. So we're gonna get spicy after. Actually, no, we're gonna get spicy first. So, what's a bad choice that you made when it came to your sex life? So, it could be with a partner, it could be with an experience, it could be just a person you dated. Like, all right, boom. So, I was watching this podcast, right? And she was talking about, if it was whack, you don't count that body. I was crying, yo. When people say that, or something else I was watching, it was like, oh, if he got a little dick, it don't count. That's not a body. I was like, wait, what? I was like, I mean, if that's y'all logic, cool. Like, but I mean, it's the same thing when y'all be like, oh, a relationship that lasted if it lasted less than 6 months, it's not a relationship. I kind of agree with that because, like, honestly, I only had like 3 relationships that lasted like a year or more. So like, I'm just like, everything else was like a month, 2 months, a couple weeks. So it's like, you don't count that, right? Because it's just like, what the fuck? And then especially if you was young, like what you know about nothing. You don't know nothing yet. But I agree with that. So the bad decision would be, with a body, basically. Like I be thinking sometimes, I'd be like, yo, why did I talk to this person? Like why was I even interested in you? And then I thought about it, I was like, oh, it was convenient. That person, when I wanted something, I could get it. It was like that. But I feel like, when it comes to that, bad decisions, it's like, you would think it's a waste of body, but at the end of the day, it is what it is.
All right, so I had a couple of relationships. Obviously, like the timetables was different. Like some of them were like a month, some of them were like 3 months, some of them was like the longest I had was like 11 months, like this close to a year. But one bad choice I made in a relationship was, all right, I'm not gonna mention no names because obviously like that's like.
Now you can't name nobody.
Yeah.
We gotta do code names. Everything is code names. Like.
All right, so me and...
It's funny because I always find out the code names like in the middle of the show, like after he done explained it, and I'd be like, oh.
Right. The one bad choice I made in a relationship was go out with this girl basically to... It's kind of like with Serena. It's like basically just to have one, like...
For convenience.
Just out of convenience, yeah. It was in high school. Like at the time, like I knew freshman year and sophomore year, like I wasn't a good look. Like I was clearly like he's a dog. But like junior year, like, you know, this girl liked me, and, you know, don't get me wrong, like she was a very cool person. Like I still love her to death, but it was just like at the time she was the only girl that was giving me attention. So naturally, like the initial thought of the relationship, that's what I flowed to, is because you're giving me attention. It wasn't until the actual relationship happened that I was like, oh, okay, I actually like her. But I mean, I kind of guess that's why the relationship ended, even though it was for a different reason. But I don't know, I guess that like the bad choice was the initial thought that like I could just get her because like she likes me or something. It wasn't about like me liking her too, and that's why we started talking. It was more about like, yo, you're a girl, obviously I'm not getting girls as much. So because you're giving me attention, I'm just gonna flow to you based on that. I guess that was my bad choice, but if you know who you are, shout out to you though. You was a great girlfriend.
So would you, if you could go back, would you change that?
Like to go out with her or?
To go out with her, yeah, because that's basically like what the...
I would say no, mainly because of like what it taught me today. Basically without her, like I would never have I would have a girl in high school. But it would be all the way in senior year. So she basically taught me how to like mature early. She basically taught me how to like deal with a breakup. Like she was my first major breakup. Like even though the bad decision, you know, came through me initially thinking like, oh yeah, I was just gonna get her because she's a girl. She taught me a lot in relationships that I know today, and she also like gave me, even though it was bad at first, it may seem bad, but she gave me a heartbreak. Like now I know what it feels like to be heartbroken, like, and going through it naturally. Like now I know how to deal with a heartbreak today. Like if it wasn't for her, like say I was to go in a relationship now with somebody and then like it's a big relationship and then it's a big breakup, I wouldn't know how to deal with it, and I'd probably struggle. I'd probably, you know, like not want to talk to anybody. But because of her, it's like now I know how to deal with it. Like I know how to talk to my friends and, you know, cope with a heartbreak. So
if I could go back, I mean, I feel like that's not something like you should take back. Like the person you decide to do what you do it is like, that's just the person you decide to do what you do it. I don't think like that's really a bad thing. So I feel like, you know, over time, you know, as you get older, you know what you want. So when it comes to that in particular, you know, picking somebody you choose to lay down with, like really up to your preferences now, or like how you're moving at the moment, you know, if you're trying to be spicy or you're trying to really settle down with them. So yeah, what is a life decision that you think was a bad one, and how would you change it if you could go back, if you were to change it?
I'd say the biggest life decision I ever made that I felt like was terrible, telling my mom at like the age of 5 that I wanted to be a lawyer. Mainly because the thing about it is, it's like, yeah, I'm still going through it now. Like I'm in a school for that, but initially I chose that path because of the money. Like I saw that lawyers make like 6 figures, 7 figures, like doing nothing. So naturally that's what I just flowed to. Like it's the same thing like as if I was to see like, oh, a doctor makes like $1 million a year. I would have said I wanted to be a doctor. But now because of what I told my mother and like my whole family, now it's like I went to high school for law enforcement. I went to John Jay College. It's like, and now I'm thinking I'm going to law school. It's like, now I'm leading into a path that I never wanted to start, but because of my arrogance of me being a kid and saying, oh yeah, money looks nice, now I'm stuck in a field where I kind of don't want to be in. Now I kind of want to be more in filming and media, but I can't tell my mom that now because, you know, she's preaching to the whole world that, yeah, you know, my son's gonna be a lawyer. And so it's like, now it's like, damn, I kind of messed up.
So how would you have changed that? I would have just not told her nothing.
Yeah, I think I would have just, I think I should have just kept my mouth shut, like, and just waited until I got older to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, yeah, I think I would have been in a better position. But then again, I probably would have never went to that high school to meet Serena, Gabby, and all of them. Even though Serena didn't go to...
Oh yeah, I didn't go there, you know.
She didn't go to law, but Gabby went there, and that's how I met Serena, through Gabby. So I wouldn't have met Gabby. I wouldn't have met the people in college, so.
I think mine, it has to do with school too. So if you know, I took the year off after high school. I didn't go straight to college. So I feel like, you know, the decision, I feel like I would have made the decision to go away still. Like, I was supposed to go to Florida. It was like a hard time because I had to get over the fact that I wasn't going. I had my mindset on this is what I want to do, this is where I want to go. That's like, I was determined to get it done. But, you know, because of certain circumstances, like, I wasn't able to. And it hurt in the beginning, but overall, I don't think that it was a bad choice to stay. You know, a lot of people tell me like to go away because it's a good experience, but going away to school is not for everybody. Like me personally, I don't like big schools. Like my high school was a big high school. Like, so it's like, I didn't like it. Like it was too much going on, too many people. You know, everybody wants to know everybody. Like I'm not that type of person. So that's why I felt like, you know, it was a good and a bad thing that I didn't go. But I wouldn't change my decision to stay because I met my friends that I have here. I have a wonderful show, you know, like I wouldn't have done this, like, you know, I wouldn't have met the friends that I've met. Like, I feel like it was a good choice and I wouldn't change it. So we're gonna get into our wonderful heated topic. Boom. This was a simple one. I didn't really, actually no, somebody actually responded to it, so I gave her a shout out. It's on Snapchat, so follow her Snapchat. But I'm gonna explain the post to you guys, and then I'm gonna, basically it was, do you agree or disagree? Very simple, but some people did like say, you know, why, like just responded to the post in general. So it's 4 stages. So talking, we've exchanged numbers, do things on a friendship level, and maybe, this was in bold and underlined, even have sex. So mind you, y'all don't have to have sex. Like this was just an added thing inside. Then it says testing the waters to see if it's a growing interest. Then it's dating. We are spending time together doing various activities as friends with a mutual interest in each other, but we still are allowed to talk to other people. I agree with that. We didn't really say like we wasn't talking to nobody yet, so.
Right.
Then dating exclusively, we are dating, however, we have cut off all the people we're interested in and focusing on getting to know each other better. So some people said, you know, that should be, I'll go into that person, that's the person I'm talking about. She was like, oh, you know, it should be like, that should be the same category. Only because, you know, it should be only because like as you continuously date somebody, like it's gonna progress that you cut everybody off.
Yeah.
And then the last one was a relationship. We made it a mutual agreement to become a couple. It's just you and me, point blank, period. So all the comments on here, it says some of y'all need this because y'all don't understand about these things, and you be crossing and twisting it up like crazy. Because when you talk to somebody, you know, it's not really like you just introducing each other, you know. I'm pretty sure that person is talking to people before they even decided to talk to you. Like, so you can't be mad. Like, I mean, you could be jealous because like if you interested in that person, you know, like I just don't think it's necessary to be jealous though.
Right.
Once you start dating, you know, you be like, oh, you have to address though, like, oh, I'm fucking with you though. You can't just like make it assume that they know that, oh, I'm fucking with you. And if you decide to cut everybody off you talk to, then that's your choice, but you should do it on your own time first and see how they're moving. And then like as you see how they're moving and you decide to tell them, like I feel like things should happen gradually. Like even if gradually is like a couple weeks at a time, it's still like spaced out.
Right.
Not just, oh, every day is something new. Like gradually, like, oh, this month, next month, the month after, maybe 3 months later, like that. So everybody agreed. Do you agree?
I agree 100%. If I'm not mistaken, I think I voted on it too. I think I pretty much, I feel like talking is just like, it's like when you're at a party and you're talking to somebody, like you're not exclusively dating them. Like if I'm just talking to you, like we're just getting to know each other. Like I can go talk to other people if I want. I think to the point where if both of you get jealous that they're talking to other people, I think that's when you should make the next step to like tell them like, yo, I'm feeling you, are you feeling me? And then if they feeling you as well, y'all should move into the dating stage. Like y'all should go out, you know, take them on a couple dates. And then if you feel like, you know, things is moving right and both of y'all feeling the same way, then, you know, y'all can start cutting people off, like, you know, and focusing on them to get to know them better. And then obviously get to the last step, which is actually exclusively dating. So, but I feel like all those steps involve communication. Like you can't, like Serena said, you can't just assume that the person is thinking what you're thinking. So as long as you communicate with the other person, like, yo, this is how I'm feeling, like this is how I want to move. If they want to move the same way, then obviously make the next step. If they don't want to, then move on to somebody else, or, you know, keep them as friends or whatever you decide to do. But at the end of the day, like, it's all about communication. Like, just let them know how you're feeling.
So the person who responded, she was like, she thought that sex shouldn't go with talking, like, at all. Dating and dating exclusively, like I said earlier, should be one thing. And so that should be the same, the dating and dating exclusively should be the same category, so that you guys are able to like prepare yourself to be like, oh, are you guys ready or not to be in a relationship?
Right.
So basically maybe there's only 3 categories, but we're gonna leave it at 4. I agree, you know, sometimes it's hard to decide what you guys want to do. Maybe it's like, you know, because when you talk to somebody, when you start to talk to somebody, it's always something that you're going through at that time. And you cannot lie and say that it's not, because it always is. You know, something could be going on with your family, with you personally, with school, with an ex-relationship, you know, crying, with a past relationship. So, you know, you could still be fucking with somebody like, it could be so many things. So it's like, you know, when you're talking to somebody, give yourself time to move past whatever you're going through. Okay, so for the shout outs, well, her shout out, hers is, you could pick the shout out. You wanna pick?
Yeah, I'll pick.
So this is her Snapchat, guys, so make sure you do follow her on Snapchat. It's w.xsdom. It's basically wisdom, but it's just complicated a little bit. So we're gonna have it on the screen for you guys. And then our wonderful regular shout out that was a heated topic.
Okay.
So for voting.
All right, so the person we chose to, who voted for the whole entire topic is gonna go to Taj.2._. We're gonna have it on the screen for you, but.
Okay, so because we can't find who voted for the heated topic at the moment, so we're gonna give it to who I found the post from, so boom.
All right, so it's gonna go to To Armageddon.
Tor Armageddon? I think it's Tor Armageddon. Yeah, Tor Armageddon.
To Armageddon _. Shout out to you for the post. Thank you.
Make sure you follow everybody that we gave a shout out to. Make sure you continue to vote. This week, if you haven't noticed, this is our 2nd episode for the week. So make sure you do, you know, watch the last one. We had a game day, and before that we had a wonderful guest.
All right, so until the next episode, you guys can follow me at _wewantmoore on Instagram and Twitter. And Snapchat is wewant.moore.
Make sure you follow our wonderful shows page on social media, tntkshow on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And of course, you can still follow me on all my social media. My Instagram is _fuckroses with a V, not a U, and my Snapchat and my Twitter is fuckroses with a V, not a U. As always, guys, make sure you like, you comment, you share, subscribe. Bye, guys.